David, we're not hearing anybody.
Yeah, it's just the live feed just started. The live feed just started, so we are live. It, it kind of takes about a minute here. And welcome, everyone. We are here with Quantum Leap Live, actually, a special edition today for the Vision for 21 symposium. And we are kicking it off with a panel on Leadership Oakland. So we're excited Cory and I are excited to welcome Dale Marie Golden and Riza Hernandez, who were been involved with Leadership Oakland for a number of years, and Cory actually went through the program as well. So I just wanted to first turn it over to Cory to introduce himself and provide a brief testimonial about Leadership Oakland and how he knows Dale and Riza as well.
All right, thank you, David. Yeah, so I've was in Leadership Oakland, and I want to say the class of 2015. Sometimes it might be 2014. Feels like long ago. And I got started. And I always had some interest in politics and community and what's going on and kind of like the inner workings. And I also wanted to network up. I wanted to be involved in leadership in some way, shape, or form. And so when the chamber had this Leadership Oakland thing, I thought, well, that's sounds like the right way to basically network up. Meet the right people and in my community and maybe learn something along the way as well, of course. And so I went through it and worked together with a lot of people I probably would have never met in any other area of my life. And I thought that was really amazing. Some people from, really interesting places. There's some, government organizations, some, private corporations, several nonprofits and so on. And people I've run into many times over the years and have good friendships with now. And I think, overall, it gave me a lot of insights into, the various areas of leadership within Oakland. But not only that, but I think within any city, any region, any state, or, whatever is your interest. And so, along the way, of course, I met Riza Hernandez and Dale Marie Golden. Well, I already knew Dale Marie, but she was in an earlier class, and I think Riza came a little after, and together they've really put together the Alumni Association for the Leadership Oakland, which just adds tremendous value to, it was already a valuable program to go through. I'm not sure how many other leadership programs are doing what Leadership Oakland Alumni is doing, but it definitely makes it worthwhile to go through the leadership just to have access to the Alumni Association. And what can I say that I got out of the program is, some amazing connections. And I think, it's a lifetime of connections. No matter what I do, if I'm, for whatever reason, if I'm ever in a job or retire or whatever, the Leadership Oakland will be a connection that it would be hard to get through regular business channels.
Great, thanks, Cory. And I do want to get to Dale and Riza here. Sorry to have us talking for so long. They're two exciting folks who. How are you guys today? Thanks for joining us. If you don't mind just telling us who you are and a little bit about your story and how you've been involved in Leadership Oakland.
Riza, you go ahead and start.
Okay, I'll go first. Hi, I'm Riza Hernandez, and I am a Chief Financial Advisor at Entrefolio Wealth Management, which is my business. I provide financial planning work as well as investment management. That's my day job, and I have several evening jobs, one of which is Leadership Oakland. And I got connected to Leadership Oakland back in 2016 when I took the program. And the program was ran by Ali Bondi, who actually this year is leaving Leadership Oakland, which is very sad. It's a big shoe to fill. More about that later. But Leadership Oakland is a civic organization where we meet, engage, connect, and develop our community leaders who are interested in learning about the community of Oakland, the businesses that anchor Oakland, the nonprofits, the small businesses, the large businesses, the civic organization, local government that makes Oakland what it is what our mayor would call is our secret sauce, all of that combined. Dale Marie, what would you like to add to that?
Well, thanks, Riza, and thanks everybody for being here today. And thank you for putting this on, David and Cory and Gail. And this is great to see so many familiar faces that are part of this event. I graduated from Leadership Oakland in 2012, and we had such an amazing class and had such camaraderie that when the program was over, you're like, wait, we're not done yet. We have more to do. We want to continue giving back to Oakland. I called Leadership Oakland at one point. It's more like a field trip for adults because one Friday you're part of transportation and you're going down to the port and learning about the port. Another day is nonprofit day and you're at the Paramount learning about the ballet or the symphony or the Paramount Theater. Another day is city government and you're downtown listening to how the city council works. And another day, you might be getting on a bus and taking a tour of maybe even neighborhoods in Oakland that you've never been to before. So it is a pretty amazing program where you get a little bit of knowledge about each different sector that happens in Oakland. And also, Cory brought up the connections, and I like telling the brand new classes a story about, because I'm with Bridge Bank and I specialize in nonprofits and small businesses and real estate lending, and a company in, I won't name the name of the company, but we were trying to get their business, and we had the president of the bank fly in and meet with them, and they couldn't get the business. And my first meeting at Leadership Oakland, I happened to sit next to the CFO, and literally in a week, I got their business. So it just reminds you so many times what my dad said, that sometimes it's not what you know, but who you know. And Leadership Oakland is all about that, because you're going to meet corporate people, you're going to meet entrepreneurs, and you're going to meet nonprofits. And the Alumni Association had tried to get off the ground for many years, and it wasn't successful. And part of the problem was, I think maybe even a lack of technology, that it was hard to keep up with people. They would move jobs and we'd have an old email address and would lose touch with that person. So in 2012, we decided, no, we're going to make this work. So believe it or not, I can't believe it, but I've been vice president of the association for 8 years now, and we're still going and going strong. So thanks for having us here.
Great. And I'm going to turn it over to Cory for the a couple questions, and we do want to show your video and have you comment on some of the things in that. A great video by Leadership Oakland, but I did want to just provide a brief testimonial about you guys, and that really I went to this event. There was Leadership Oakland, it was Rotary, and it was the Business Development Committee, and I was just sold on all of these things at that event by just seeing this kind of camaraderie and like the really, this is the who's who of Oakland. And it was an exciting experience for me. And since I've really tried to kind of follow your guys' lead on what you guys have done, and asking Cory about what is Leadership Oakland, like who's involved. And so it's just a very exciting thing. The business community in Oakland and these key groups are kind of what make Oakland what it is. And just to have you on today is a great pleasure. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Cory. I can share that video. Maybe we can start with that. I want to show some of the images that really kind of captures the power of the experience of Leadership Oakland here, and then maybe you guys can talk about this too, either during or after. Oh.
Nancy O'Malley, you're probably seeing some familiar faces here. Access Dance. There you go, the Paramount, KTUV. We have a media day.
Oh, I can, I'm going to stop that just to let you make a comment, Dale. Sorry. We're getting
No,
the
I was
last
just,
minute.
as it was going through, I was just making a comment of where they were and what they were doing. You saw some people that you might recognize, Tanya Holland from Brown Sugar Kitchen. All these people are opening up their place of business, and the Oakland A's.
That just
So it's
brought
all
back,
part of Oakland.
yeah, that just brought back a lot of memories, a lot of amazing memories, and people that was part of that cohort when I went.
Yeah,
Right.
great.
So maybe what you could tell us a little bit about what is Leadership Oakland, and why would inspiring leaders in the East Bay consider enrolling in the program?
Well, okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
Leadership Oakland is a 7-month program and a look behind what makes Oakland what it is. Along the program, you meet hundreds of people that are leaders within our city. You're also given an opportunity to complete a nonprofit project where you're divided in teams and you're given a nonprofit that you help during your program tenure. And then you graduate. Well, along that, and the reason why people would want to join is not just the connection, but this is not just the connection with the city, but with your cohort, which I think was a more valuable connection for me, because as Dale Marie pointed out, she's done business with these people that she's met and were her classmates. And they're my lifelong friends. These are people that I hang out with, I've done favors for, I've spoken on their platform, they've spoken on my platform. And you know, they say that tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. Well, these are my friends. They are a huge part of the community and they want to see our community grow. So that was what my takeaway, most valuable takeaway of Leadership Oakland is.
I think also we have, just to remind people, we're talking about Oakland, but there are leadership programs in cities all across the country, similar programs. So this is not just Oakland. So I know we have a lot of people that are on the call that don't live in Oakland or don't work in Oakland. And so they're wondering, so definitely look in to see if there's a leadership program in your city, because all of these things that we're talking about will be true for you in your city as well. Of course, we love being in Oakland because, as Libby says, that secret sauce, that diversity, that sometimes that roughness, that we all really do embrace. I think it's perfect that today is Giving Tuesday and we're talking about this, because one of the big things that we decided when we decided to have an alumni association was the whole idea of inspiring and giving back. And we didn't want to stop that. So you will see that just recently, Leadership Oakland Alumni Association were there bagging up meals for 3,000 people for Thanksgiving. This is the first time I had to do it, not actually serving people, but we've served over 2,000 people at the Marriott every single Thanksgiving. And I know that when I see that white shirt with the Leadership Oakland logo on it, that's somebody that cares about the community, and that's exciting.
Yeah, I did just see one question in the chat that I wanted to clarify about the connection between Leadership Oakland and the Alumni Association, and I'll let you guys elaborate, but my understanding is that really when you started this Alumni Association, it created this kind of ability for Leadership Oakland to kind of live on and do all these other events in a broader community. So I think what Leadership Oakland is really kind of this broader network of everybody who's kind of been through it, but everyone who you reach is alumni. So I don't know if you want to comment on that as well.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I think that we should definitely point out that difference. The Leadership Oakland is a 7-month program. And after you graduate, then you are part of the Alumni Association. And like Dale Marie just mentioned, when she graduated, there was no Alumni Association. And as we all go through the program, and when we're done, we're like, okay, what's next? Because we're completely inspired and we're empowered and we want to do more. But the program ends. And that's where the Alumni Association picks up, where we continue to want to build and grow. And although some of our alums either move or change jobs or somehow are not connected because, you know, they graduated 10 years ago and we didn't have this set up, we are trying to not let that happen anymore. And we are working towards reconnecting with some of these alums that had graduated past 10 years ago. We've been around, or the Leadership Oakland's been around for over 30 years. This is their 31st class where they went completely virtual because of the pandemic. So this year, we've done a lot of things differently, not just the Leadership Oakland, but the Alumni Association as well, where all our events are all virtual to accommodate everyone.
Thank you. Dale, if you had something to add to that, go ahead. Sorry.
Trying to figure out how to be in the sun or out of the sun. Might have to do some adjustment there. I don't know. We'll see. Let me turn. I see that the person said it's interesting because we're not actually a separate, I mean, we are a separate entity from the chamber, but we're working more and more with the chamber each year when they realize that indeed this is a legit organization, the Alumni Association. And we have people coming from to our happy hours and our conversation series from 1992. It's just really, really exciting. And some of the programs that we have done is we decided to have an alum be a speaker and share what being a Leadership Oakland person has done for them. And again, now that we're virtual, we've done it all through Zoom. So like so many other businesses, we've had to pivot as well.
And I'd like to answer Lisa's question. She asked if Leadership Oakland was connected to Leadership East Bay. It is not. Leadership East Bay is its own organization. It is not tied to any chamber or any city programs. They are their own nonprofit organization that they create for their students. Leadership Oakland, and much like other leadership programs that are ran by the city or the chamber, is separate from that particular program. But what we are trying to do is bring all of these leaderships together. One of the alums mentioned that they'd like to see an open house type of a happy hour where we connect with other leadership programs and because it's all done through Zoom now, it's an easy way to be able to connect with them. So next year, we're looking at various programming, and that's one of the things on my mind. And I am the programs chair, so I'm constantly looking for new things, new events that I can bring to our members about things that are happening in Oakland, new changes in our in our either local government or in our private organizations that I can introduce to our alums so that our education keeps growing.
Okay, thanks, Riza. I did want to get to, you know, I've somebody who's kind of followed leadership and leadership concepts in politics, my former career. And really looking what's going on right now in the world. I really think that leadership and developing leaders is probably more important than ever, and that's really the highest priority of society. I was just going to see if you guys have any thoughts on that and about what kind of makes a good community or business leader, and how Leadership Oakland kind of fulfills this role in the community in terms of developing leaders.
I'll jump in on that because I feel so strongly that a good leader knows how to give back. In this time of the pandemic, especially, it would be very easy for so many of us that are now working from home to be totally isolated. And even though people have started to say they're getting zoomed out or tired, it's that connection. It is that connection that we really need and giving back. And again, that's why I said it's perfect that we're talking on Giving Tuesday, because there are so many nonprofits. Actually, Oakland has more nonprofits than any other city in the country. And so we are a perfect place to somehow give back, whether you just help out an organization on one project or if you join a board. Matter of fact, Riza and I put together for our last happy hour, we got about 6 nonprofits that were part of Leadership Oakland, and they all said where they needed help. And it was great. We had so many people raise their hand and say they'd help out. And Riza, I think you'd agree that it was a great success.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was definitely necessary. And thanks for bringing that component to it, Dale Marie. And to go further, I would say that a good leader would first and foremost have a good understanding of the time we are in, and adapt to the environment we're in and what your community needs, and then implement what is necessary. So, believing in our doctors and our scientists, it would be an important part to understand the environment we're in, what's necessary. We're obviously a networking organization, and we want to connect and we want to engage with our, not just the members, but with our community that we live in. And it was important to continue doing that. So as leaders, we decided we'd continue to have these networking events. It would be on Zoom, and we would try to make it fun as much as possible and really talk to our members to see if there are what it is that they need from us and what they need from their environment. So a good leader, as Leadership Oakland would like to be known as, or is known as, would have a good understanding of the environment they're living in and the needs of their immediate members and community members.
Thank you. And we are just about at time. I had one comment that I think is really key that I see in how you guys work, and really it's about inspiring people to give back and how to follow the example of you two and others in Leadership Oakland. And by joining that network, there's this huge synergy that really is an amazing thing for the community. And I know we have some more questions in the chat. We'll probably have some more questions, maybe if you don't mind responding to a few of those in the chat. Otherwise, if there are questions on this segment in Facebook, feel free to write them down in the comments and I can follow up with you guys about them. I did want to ask, if somebody is watching this and wants to hear more about enrolling in the program, I will put a link to the Leadership Oakland, but I don't know if you have any other advice about the nuts and bolts of how to get enrolled in the program and when the next program starts, so people can kind of take that next step now to get involved if that's something that is of interest to them.
Sure, I'll answer Derek's question. He asked how many in each class. Each class in the past, well, my class was 24 people, and that was a large class at the time I went. And the classes that came after me, after 2016, they had as large as 35 to 40 folks enrolled. This year is a little different. We have about 20 people enrolled in class, which is still a really good size. And if you'd like to be more involved, application typically starts in the summer and orientation is in October. So our class just started this past October. And if you're interested, application will open up again next summer. And hopefully by then it'll be a live class, because it's a lot more fun when it's a live class.
And Dale, if you have any closing comments, or Cory, otherwise we are going to wrap up this panel because we are at time. But thanks so much, you guys, for your comments. And I'll Cory, Dale, pardon me.
Great. I was
Dale.
just going to say that again, part of doing anything, just like today, is showing up. And there are so many times that we put off things. And when we see how many people that we've lost to the pandemic, it reminds you every single day that you shouldn't be putting things off. If you really want to do something, if you really want to give back, do it now. Do it now. Thanks for your time, everybody, and give back.
And my final thoughts on that would be, is this African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And Leadership Oakland embodies going together. We are a team, we're a group, we're an organization that want to go together and want to go far. Thank you.
Thanks, you guys. Well, I look forward to seeing you soon at one of your many exciting events that you put on, and keeping in touch about the program. Cory, do you have any closing comments? And we're going to close it. Okay, good. Well, thanks, everyone. We are going to end the live broadcast, a special edition of the Quantum Leap Live with the Business Symposium here. So Cory and Dave signing off, and panelists, everyone else stand by. Thank you.